Good morning. I'm so glad you're all here, and I thank you for making the time to be here. I'm Cynthia Klein-Banai, Associate Chancellor for Sustainability, and welcome to the first meeting of the Sustainability Strategic Thinking Advisory Committee. I'm going to go over a little history and then get into why you're here and then what we're going to do today. Okay. So we'll stay here for a second. So we founded the Office of Sustainability upon the recommendations of the Chancellor's Committee on Sustainability and Energy in January 2008. And at the same time, the Chancellor's Committee on Sustainability and Energy was formed to provide guidance, reporting, and accountability to our campus on sustainability and energy issues. Working with the CCSE, my small staff, and if you could raise your hands, some of you are here, and we'll do introductions later. And I, along with the committee, took over 100 recommendations from the task force and facilitated the implementation of many of those programs. Chancellor Manning also had signed on to the American College and University's President's Climate Commitment, which required us to track our greenhouse gas emissions from our buildings, transportation systems, commuting, waste management, etc., and publicly report it, and also develop a climate action plan for the campus to reduce our greenhouse gases our emissions by over 80% by 2050. This is a summary of that, of the strategies. This was approved in September 2009 and was comprised of many strategies and that were primarily related to the operational side of our institutional operations. However, we began to advance many of them through the engagement of students, staff, and faculty in a variety of ways over these nearly 5 years of work. The time is too short to go back today into depth into the history of our accomplishments. We hope that you'll look at the timeline and post additional milestones that you think are related to sustainability at UIC so we can fill this out. I will just briefly talk about a few things. We have advanced many projects in the areas of energy efficiency, developed an energy and green building policy. We've built a couple or renovated a couple of green buildings, Lincoln and Douglas Hall, which received certification at the gold level. And have had we have many projects in the pipeline. You've seen our energy consumption go down despite some growth on the South Campus. That's, if you look at the line, the trend line, that's an overall trend down. We've expanded recycling, doubling our recycling rate since 2007, and we will be launching food scrap collection for the off-site composting in the student centers, including this one, in January. We have built programs to encourage use of alternative transit, such as ride sharing, carpooling, and we're working on bike planning. We have inventoried our trees and prepared and complied with all kinds of requirements to meet a certification called Tree Campus USA. And we've engaged students through projects in our office with an exponential growth, that's that line going up, working on things like social media, bike planning, energy and climate, water management planning, food issues, and more. While we have made much progress, our greenhouse gas emissions have actually increased from our baseline. And in the future, we will need to be very creative and integrative in our thinking and our implementation to make serious reductions and change. Some of the requirements for the Climate Action Plan are incomplete. The integration of curriculum and research and community work need to be developed into a plan. You can learn more about all of our work on our website and through social media. So then why are you here today? You've been appointed by you've been appointed to this committee to help advance sustainability at UIC beyond the commonly held view that this is a campus greening initiative or simple environmental function. This committee will seek to make sustainability the lens through which we begin to view, assess, and imagine our work in many areas. From our diversity initiative to curriculum innovations, You will examine what this means for how we operate at all levels, including teaching, research, processes, and operations, and our impact on future communities. You will look at our place within the urban environment and how that connects to our learning community. A Sustainability Strategic Thinking Steering Committee was formed earlier in 2012 and is guiding the process. Could you raise your hand if you're on that committee? We'll do introductions, as I said, later. So to support this process, we have a consultant, Jenny Hirsch, who will be facilitating today, and also Christy Cambanis, who's supporting as staff support. And then we have a few interns present today who will be working on the project. And there will be note-taking later on. So now that we have this advisory committee, your role is going to be to reach back into your larger community of colleagues, faculty, staff, and students to bring back information on the work that others at UIC are doing. And we will have a very broad engagement that way in the process and ultimately in sustainability on campus. In some ways, this is similar to other strategic initiatives that have happened before, the Strategic 2010 Plan, the Diversity Plan, the Master Plan, the Student Success Plan, and I'm sure there's several others. And in other ways, this might be very overarching and connected to that other work. Our intention is that this work will be integrated into the UIC strategic planning for the campus. So the outcomes that we're going to be looking for in this first stage are to formulate some consensus about what sustainability means at UIC and how the things we're already doing connect to this understanding and the implications for curriculum, research, operations, and community. Then to form the basis for the sustainability strategic plan, which we'll develop after we think about everything, and to advance sustainability in these different ways in an integrative way. We'll also have 4 products produced by students that will assist us either as interns as on the project or as students of Professor Charlie Hoke in his urban planning studio class that will be conducted next semester. The interns will conduct interviews and engage individuals from beyond the committee to discover what else is happening related to sustainability. The studio class will conduct research and develop materials to facilitate working group discussions, as well as conduct outreach engagement events throughout the semester. And they will come up with 4 products that will be coming out of each working group. We will garner engagement across the campus community by reaching into your units and beyond. This phase will culminate in an Earth Day event on April 22nd that will be an open forum for the campus to provide input into the work so far. It is also a UIC 30-year celebration event. And these 4 products and the other work of the Thinking Earth Day will be put together into a multimedia report over the summer. We will also begin to think about meaningful metrics to measure our progress as our campus looks at dashboards. So we will want to develop a dashboard for sustainability. We will convene this committee and the working groups we formed today for the first stage of this process during the spring semester. Oops. Okay, so I have to go back to the So our agenda for today, which you did receive, I'll just walk you through it briefly. We're going to determine those 4 working groups I keep talking about, and we're going to hold our first working group meeting today. That's our goal. After I speak, we're going to view several vignettes that are going to stimulate broader thinking around sustainability. These vignettes are taken from things that have gone on in campus that really have not come out of the Office of Sustainability, that they are other initiatives on campus. Jenny will then guide you through a large, small group exercise to determine those working groups. And once we have consensus on the groups, you will get to sign up for the working group you are interested in, and a secondary one that you might have interest in. And these topics may evolve somewhat over the semester, and I'm sure there'll be some back and forth on them. But they're meant to be a foci around which we can think about sustainability. And after this, we will convene the working groups today to come up with some projects, initiatives, and people that we want to meet with and find out what they are doing. The day will end with a brief wrap-up and next steps.